Nelson Peltz has gotten a big vote from an unlikely source. So welcome back to Views with Hughes, Jennifer News. This is Jerome Hughes, and today's topic, the story of the hour, is that Nelson Peltz is actually got a big vote from California. So what does this all mean? Go ahead and get right into it. So Friday night, the Hollywood Reporter actually reported on the story and everything where PELTZ votes for Nelson Peltz and Jay Rizzulo in the big Disney boardroom battle. Now, as y'all know, this is a proxy battle with Nelson Peltz as well as other candidates such as Jay Rizzulo and stuff to be a part of the Disney board. And remember, this vote is not used to go ahead and try and vote out, Bob Iger and everything to replace him as CEO. They're looking to go ahead and get more people on board and stuff so he can stay as CEO, but at the same time, his decisions won't affect the financial futures of the company itself. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get right into the story. So California's big pension fund, which manages the retirement money for a lot of people, has thrown its support behind Nelson Peltz and his tug of war against Bob Iger, who was the boss at Walt Disney, and the rest of the company's leadership team. Now, this particular move follows the advice of Institutional Shareholder Services, ISS, who is a heavyweight advisor that a lot of investors listen to. Okay, so this backing is a big deal and is likely to make waves, okay, showing just how influential these endorsements can be in the battle for control at Walt Disney. Now, Friday night, the Hollywood Reporter, as I showed you, let everyone know that Nelson Peltz from Trian is winning more support. Now, this time, CalPERS, which is basically the pension fund for California's public workers, decided to back Nelson Peltz and Jay Rizzulo for seats on Walt Disney's board. Now, this move gives a big thumbs up to Nelson Peltz and his team's efforts just a few days before Walt Disney has his yearly meeting with all its shareholders on April 3rd. All right, and CalPERS, a big pension fund in the U.S., said they voted for Nelson Peltz and Jay Rizzulo to join Walt Disney's board, according to what Reuters said this past Friday. All right. And I remember like the last shareholders meeting last year, you had some people out there giving general and basic questions. And then this one shareholder who's fed up with, how Walt Disney is dealing things, how they're having Walt put into the content and everything, and was wondering if they remove that, then that's when will they be able to make more money? Will the company itself be more successful again? All right. And that's when the previous CFO at the time actually tried to go ahead and address it, saying that how she's glad to have Bob Iger and everything back after Bob Iger answered that question that particular shareholder had asked before. Okay. So as I said before, CalPERS, which is a big pension fund for the U.S., decided to go ahead and vote for Nelson Peltz. All right. And CalPERS, which has about 6.65 million in Walt Disney shares as of last December, told the Hollywood Reporter that they think Disney would do better with some new ideas on his board. Now, CalPERS is also on the same page as the advisory firm Egan Jones and Institutional Shareholder Services, ISS, all rooting for Nelson Peltz and Jay Rizzulo. Now, this vote is happening in just a few days before Walt Disney's big yearly meeting on April 3rd. And as this meeting is going to start, investors will decide who gets 2 spots on Walt Disney's board. Okay, so this is pretty interesting because of the fact that we also saw before how Bob Iger, he announced like a few big name celebrities as well as well-known folks and stuff within the company itself and everything. And the fact of the matter is, well, Jay Rizzulo, he's getting backing of actual financial institutions as well as advisors. And Bob Iger, he's just getting backing from those who they claim are supporting him or should say they should join him, like celebrities as well as former employees. And I say celebrities like actor and comedian Josh Gad, who also got big backlash on Instagram and stuff after announcing that, shareholders should go ahead and vote for Bob Iger and his candidates for them to keep their board seats. And the fact of the matter is, he got that pushback from people who were following him on Instagram, reminding him about how Disney treated their employees and stuff, having them letting them go, as well as have sending them to community food shelters and stuff instead of giving big payouts to big executives at the company. All right. And that didn't go so well with Josh Gad either. And it's like most likely a publicist put that out there for him, and you know what? Bob Iger has an uphill battle against Nelson Peltz himself. All right. So in the recent video, I did talk about some big news from the Wall Street Journal that popped up the night before. And it was all about woke Disney's telling its shareholders to get their votes in as this big voting battle is coming to a head. All right. So they also mentioned how Neuberger Berman is back in Trian's side all of this. But the kicker is that the article also spilled the beans that the big money players like Black Rock and Vanguard haven't even voted yet, okay? And they usually wait until the last minute to make their move. Now, for regular folks who are shareholders, and they play a huge part in this, okay? Holding Disney shares, they got a big say in this, holding over a third of the company's shares, all right? Now, up to now, only a small chunk of shareholders have voted, just a bit over 22%, and it's mostly smaller investors who've done so. All right. And in this early count, Nelson Peltz is ahead of woke Disney's own Maria Elena Lagomasino, while Jay Rizzullo is having a tough time getting shareholder support. All right. And a spokesperson from woke Disney wasn't happy at all about someone leaking how the votes were adding up early, as I've mentioned before, and they called it a dirty trick to try and mess with how people are going to vote. But then out of nowhere on Friday night, CalPERS decided to throw in a massive 6.65 million votes in Nelson Peltz's direction. And it looks like Jay Rizzullo might be getting a boost from that as well. And we've been hammering this point at home and stuff, trying to win a big fight against a behemoth like woke Disney, and is trying to climb a mountain with your hands tied behind your back. Yet here we are, just a couple of days away from when woke Disney tallies up for all the votes on its board on April 3rd, and Nelson Peltz isn't just hanging in there. He's actually looking pretty darn strong. Okay, and considering the odds, that's not even surprising. It's kind of a big deal actually, and the whole drama is a big reminder of how crucial it is for the folks in charge of companies to not just look after the cash, but to also think about what's right for everyone involved. The kind of like being responsible adult in the room. All right. It's basically showing us that maybe, just maybe, people are getting tired of the same old corporate games, and we're ready for some big, real changes in how businesses are run. Okay. Now, remember the big annual meeting for shareholders we talked about back in April 2023. Now that one for the books, they actually talked about what's going on in the company, spilling the beans in ways they never do during those dry earnings calls where they talk about their financial standings and stuff. And it was like someone decided to open the curtains and let some light in on woke Disney's secrets. Now, fast forward to this year, and we've got Nelson Peltz trying to shake things up with his fight to grab a seat on Disney's board. Now, this isn't just some big corporate tug of war. It's like a showdown at the OK Corral, but with suits and boardrooms and stuff. A lot of y'all don't know, never heard of that, but that's a big historical reference of a big massacre. Anyway, Nelson Peltz stepping into the ring has turned this year's meeting into something you don't want to miss. All right. And it's not just about who gets to sit in a big chair, but it's about what direction woke Disney is headed and what changes might be on the horizon and how this could affect everything from the movies we watch to the theme parks we visit. Now, in essence, this year's gathering could be a big turning point, a moment where we see if woke Disney's is ready to pivot towards a new way of doing things, or if it'll stick to its old playbook. Either way, it's a clear sign that the times are changing, and those at the helm need to pay attention not just to their wallets, but to the wider impact of their decisions. And with that being said, it's also interesting to point out that, once again, Nelson Peltz is not trying to get Bob Iger's seats. Okay, he doesn't want to be the CEO of the company. All right. When Bob Iger steps down, someone needs to fill that seat and stuff, who knows how to not only run the country, but also has some creative input and stuff. So that way the company can be more successful instead of just putting out sequels as well as making failed live action remakes. All right. So Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, do you think this will be a bigger mess, or how do you think all of this would actually carry out? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have. If you enjoy what I share in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification, so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Until then, peace.